Caleb, did you know that 40% of all suicides are in middle school or elementary school kids?
Did you know that suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the US?
At the 11th being unintended falls. By the end of this video, my son and myself are gonna go through 5 ways to help you talk more effectively about depression with your parents, family members, and the like.
Yeah.
Number 1, it's okay to ask for help. You don't have to feel like a shitty person, a terrible kid or dad if you need help. That's hard to ask for in our society nowadays, admittedly true, when we see all those like Instagram and Facebook feeds of perfection. It's okay to ask other people for help. It's okay to admit that you're depressed. Now, admittedly so, it's a little uncomfortable.
Definitely.
Because again, it's hard to be like, it's easier to say, yeah, yo, I couldn't come out yesterday because I didn't answer my phone because I had the flu or I had the diarrheas. I said diarrheas. But it's uncomfortable to say because people don't do it, not because it's a bad thing, right?
Number 2.
Get in a good mental state before you go into a conversation. And this is true with any serious conversation, but it can especially be true when you're trying to tell a loved one about you being depressed or about depression.
You can listen to some relaxed music, take a walk, even ask your family members to take a walk with you.
It is critical for you to have a good mind state going into these conversations. What can happen a lot of times, I know from being depressed and having discussions, failed discussions with, I walked into those conversations in a bad fucking mind state, man. It's like if you show up triggered, you are gonna shoot. Number 3.
That feelings aren't your fault. Sometimes I'll feel like a shit kid because I didn't get straight A's or someone made fun of me on Instagram. But it's important for me to know that that's not my fault. Humans 300,000 years ago felt the same thing.
And they had to deal with these same issues. So if humans alive 300,000 years ago and humans alive today are fighting the same shit, it is not your fault. It's super important that you don't shit all over yourself and think that you did something to put yourself in a depression, when in actuality, it's just a season of the year. Don't feel bad if you can't talk to your parents. It is completely okay if you don't feel comfortable talking to your parents, because maybe they did some fucked up shit to you and beat you and hit you and sold meth, or maybe you're from the Midwest and you just don't feel comfortable talking to your parents. Number 5.
Make a plan to help alleviate your depression.
We all must stay active in our own rescue. What does that mean? That means having simple, actionable goals. Have a plan for how you're gonna, again, just become to talk to, maybe it's your wife, it's your spouse, it could be your kids, but be able to talk to them about your depression. Being able to be open and honest with those loved ones is very important. Be active in your own rescue.
Depression is a serious issue. Millions of people suffer from it. Actually, thousands kill themselves every year from it.
This can be one of your family, loved ones. It can be your son. It could be your dad. And the important thing that we remember is that if we're open and honest about these issues, it's great and it helps us grow. But we need to make it simple because, like he said, it is not easy. Have that conversation, send a text, write a letter, but practice it out. Make a plan now that is some way how you're gonna communicate about your depression so that way you can help yourself along and be active in your own rescue.
Tim Ferriss.
Tim Ferriss or Tony Robbins?
Yeah.
I think Tim Ferriss would treat me like a chubby little gingered goddess that I am.